What's going on, everybody? George Osei back at it again. Another video. Day 8 of the trial of the century. Let's get right into it. Shout out to CNN Entertainment for the breakdown and coverage. Okay, we are going to skip down to here. The drugs found in the gold-plated puffy box, agent says. So this is the I think Officer Gannon or Special Agent Gannon. I don't know how they work. You know, talking about what he found up in the crib. So what he found up in the crib. Federal investigator found pills and drug residue when they searched Combs' home in Miami Beach last March, including in a box ordained with a gold plate bearing the inscription Puffy. A federal agent testified Wednesday. I mean, it's just his house. He has multiple names. Gerald Gannon, a special agent of Homeland Security Investigations, said a Gucci bag found in a closet containing an assortment of pills, white powder, a crystal rock like substance, a plastic straw, $100 bill, and other items. The powder residue from the straw and residue from the $100 bill tested positive for cocaine and ketamine. Okay. Cocaine's a rich man's drug, so this is not too surprising for me. According to a stipulation read in court, a bottle of eye drops also found inside the bag tested positive for MDMA, commonly known as ecstasy and ketamine, according to the stipulation. Various pills tested positive for MDA, alprazolam, ketamine, and meth. What? Meth? Diddy, you had meth within arm's reach? Bruh. Bruh, you a sick dude, Brandon. You a real sick dude. All right. Meth. The jury saw photos of narcotics in the puffy box, which contained MDMA, capsules containing psilocybin, the active ingredient in psychedelic psilocybin. I said psilocybin. Psilocybin. Psychedelic mushrooms, according to the stipulation. The jury also saw the photos of boxes filled with bottles of baby oil, Astroglide lubricant in the closet in the home. Yo, this is some real slippery slopes type shit right here. 25 bottles of baby oil, 31 bottles of lubricant were found in the closet. Gannon said a loaded 45 was recovered from the suitcase found in a room referred to as the guard shack in the property guest house. On witness stand, Gannon held up the evidence bag that contained the bullets recovered from the firearm. Well, duh. Guns are pretty useless without bullets, dog. And the 45, this was most likely in 1911. These are, this is the one that I want in my collection, actually. I'm speculating, though. It didn't have to be a 1911, but this is a 1911 right here. As you can see, they call it a 1911 because it was made in the year 1911. It's considered the perfect handgun, actually, with this unique, distinct trigger here, shaped as a solid wall. Incredibly accurate, actually, because of this. No jerking necessary. You just pull straight back to the wall, you go bang. And whatever you looking at, you gonna hit it. Only holds 8 rounds though, so it's not the perfect firearm, but you know, it gets the job done. And they're commonly in the 45 caliber. It could be an FN, but I don't know. We'll see. Then they found parts of a AR-15 firearm with scratched out serial numbers and 2 loaded magazines, as well as sex toys, baby oil, and lubricant. In crash examination, Gannon confirmed the AR-15s were dismantled and not loaded. I mean, the AR-15 is a civilian rifle, incredibly modular. I built one the other day. Yeah, I haven't shot it yet though. I think I might shoot it one of these days. I have no idea, but yeah, not scary personally. I'm not terrified by this. The baby oil scares me more than the guns. Just to keep 100 with you. Ooh, they put a psychologist up here. Dawn Hughes, a clinical and forensic psychologist, testified in general terms about the behavior of people who are victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and traumatic stress as the prosecuting sought to provide the jury with a broader understanding of last week's testimony from Ventura. Hughes testified that she has not assessed any victims or witnesses in this case, nor has she interviewed anyone connected to this case. Says she has seen some press coverage of the case, but that's not, but not what's been happening in court. Well, no one sees what's happening in court, ma'am. It's federal. Ain't no cameras. Hughes testified that it's very common for victims to stay in abusive relationships and said perpetrators often use several abuse methods besides physical violence to make victims feel trapped. It's about the power and the control that the abuser has over the victim. Sick of this woman already. A victim's financial dependence on an abuser plays a very important role in a victim staying in abusive situations, he said. In addition, sexual abuse can make it difficult for a victim to seek help to leave an abusive relationship. They experience a tremendous amount of shame, humiliation, and degradation. They don't want to talk about it. They don't even want to think about it in their own brains. Hughes, who said in court that she was paid 600 an hour for her work and 6,000 a day for her testimony, has been an expert witness in several other high-profile racketeering sex trafficking trials, including, I don't know how to pronounce that, but she testified against R. Kelly. Oh, they just have this woman on deck. I see. Getting paid 600 an hour to be vague. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. She doesn't evaluate offenders. Okay. A former executive who pled the fifth testified anyway. Prior to testifying without the jury present, George Kaplan, a former executive assistant to Combs, invoked his Fifth Amendment rights not to testify on the grounds of potential self-incrimination. Judge Aaron Sabarian then signed an immunity order that required Kaplan to testify. Oh man, this is dirty. David James, another one of Combs' executive assistants, was asked Tuesday on cross-examination if he was granted immunity, but he got a proffer deal. Once the jury was present, Kaplan testified that he started working with Combs in 2013 as an executive assistant to the chief operating officer, and 10 months later, he was promoted to be his executive assistant. He said he typically worked 80 to 100 hours a week and was paid about $125K. Okay. Combs started Kaplan's job monthly. During the first week working with Combs, he assigned Kaplan to purchase a 1-gallon BPA free water bottle at Whole Foods. The store didn't have it, so Kaplan brought back 2 half-gallons. Combs said, "You ain't bring me what I asked for." He got very close to me. Kaplan was in frequent daily communications with Combs. They would text, call, email about things Combs needed, including clothing or potentially food from somewhere, or drugs or liquor or an iPad or a speaker or whatever. I mean, that was your job, being an assistant. What skills were you learning, though? Probably nothing. That's why he talked to you like that. You weren't useful beyond. Okay. Setting up and cleaning hotel rooms. Kaplan said he would travel with Combs and make sure his lodgings, and hotel rooms were set up properly. First time Kaplan was tasked with setting up the hotel, he was given a bag and told to unpack. The bag had clothes, a speaker, candles, liquor, baby oil, Astroglide. After that first time, he said he would often buy the same supplies with corporate credit cards. He said his understanding that Combs would have guests or female partner join him in the hotel rooms. Kaplan testified that after Combs would leave a hotel room, he'll go in and pick up Combs' belongings and tidy up. You cleaned up after these so-called freak offs. You ain't get paid enough, my friend. You did not get paid enough. Typically, there would be Gatorade bottles, liquor bottles, and baby oil strewed around the hotel room after Combs left. On one occasion, he cleaned up a brown crystallized powder off the countertop, though he did not know what that was. It's probably doo-doo, baby. Asked why he didn't let the hotel staff clean up, Kaplan said he came to understand part of his role was protecting Combs' image. Protecting him and protecting his public image was very important. That was something I was keen on doing. On a couple of occasions, Combs asked Kaplan to bring him drugs, but both times Combs gave Kaplan cash and a number to call, and then Kaplan arranged to pick up the drugs. This guy looks like the guy that would clean off brown crystallized substances. Like, how'd you get a promotion? It wasn't due to your smarts. Because I would never be an assistant. But I just believe that you should be able to at least tidy up the questionable things and then call in hotel room service. That's their job. Rosalita, this is what she does. And then have a backbone, bro. I would have got fired. I would have got fired, bro. Like, come on. I don't understand. And you're white. You know, he was in his vote or die wave back in 2013. You know, white people, they were in trouble when it came to these entertainment blacks. Read the room. All right. I think we're done. So, like, comment, subscribe wherever you see this. I'll be back soon. Y'all have a good one.